Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. If you've been pondering around the internet a little bit, you know that I'm semi-retired pro wrestler Tristan Law, and I'm your host. And today we're going to have one of the most talked about personas in pro wrestling, and for a good reason. Oh my God, wait till you meet this guy. He's bold. He's creative. He's not afraid to push boundaries. Love him or hate him. There's no denying that Co-Kane is leaving his mark on the pro wrestling world. From unforgettable persona to controversy that surrounds him, he's become one of the most polarizing figures in the pro wrestling world. I'd like to welcome Co-Kane. Co-Kane, every great character has a journey, and today we are diving into yours. How are you doing today?
I'm the devil's favorite drug.
Okay, you are the devil's favorite. Okay, well, right now, there's a lot that's going on right now because, there's so much controversy going on with you. There are, the person that you've parodied this character from, he's not really happy with some of the stuff that you've been doing, but we're definitely going to get into that. But, what was the moment that sparked the idea for Co-Kane? Okay.
10 years ago, Grim from Grim's Toy Show coined the term Co-Kane. 10 years later, this past Halloween, through hell, fire, and blow, GTS legend Jimmy Controversy brought me to life for the annual GTS costume battle royal on Halloween night.
Okay, so is it fair to say that you and Jimmy Controversy are friends?
Jimmy Controversy is the one true creator.
Okay, and that's true. You said that Jimmy Controversy is the one true creator. There are so many other, imitations of Co-Kane right now on the internet. Like, how does that make you feel that everybody else is just copying off of you? Granted, you are a copy of a copy, but how do you feel that everybody's copying off of you?
I have made the challenge to the other Co-Kane. We will fight in this lifetime to determine which one is pure.
Okay. All right, so it's almost like an Undertaker versus Undertaker deal from, way back in the day, right? So, like, how will you be able to differentiate both of you in the ring at the same exact time?
One is pure Colombian, 100% Co-Kane. The other is crack Co-Kane.
You know what? Growing up in the hood, I understand the differentiation. Co-Kane is more pure. It's the original. And crack cocaine is like the ripoff, the knockoff, the cheap version. Okay, I get that. So, Coke, if I can call you Coke. When you decided to create Co-Kane, what was your initial vision for the character?
Hell, fire, blow. The 8-ball machine.
Okay, good. Yeah, definitely eight-ball machine, eight-ball machine. And so, like, they say that people that participate in that kind of recreational activity, that they don't sleep. So, like, what does your sleeping habits look like at night?
I rip 15 lines throughout the entire night. I have not slept in decades.
Well, the Tristan Law Show was a really good, fun run, and I'm loving to have you here today, Co-Kane. Did you expect your character, your parody character of Kane, to be such a lightning rod for all these reactions that you're getting on the internet?
I have not expected my rise to be this quick. Now I have gained the attention from the true Kane in the Kaneiverse.
Oh, there's a whole Kaneiverse. Didn't know. Well, you know what? We are going to talk about more of what's happening with Kane, with the OG Kane. Can we call him OG Kane? Yeah, OG Kane. We'll talk a little bit more about OG Kane and Dustin Rhodes. They've had some reactions to you. But what specific, is there a specific event that convinced you that this character here, that Co-Kane was a perfect path for you in wrestling?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Uh, Great words by Rick James himself. Cocaine's a heck of a drug. So, before we jump back here to the interview, I just want to give a heads up about what's next here on the Tristan Law Show. Netflix is teaming up with WWE to bring Raw and other WWE programming to millions of screens. In the next episode, I'm going to explore how this partnership could redefine live sports and why it's a game changer for wrestling fans. So come back at Friday at noon for why Netflix needs WWE to dominate sports. Don't miss it. Subscribe now, and let's get back to Co-Kane. So what's the reaction from fans and peers when you first debuted as Co-Kane? Were you embraced with skepticism or something else? Tell us about that.
There was no skepticism being had.
So what did the fans think?
The shocked, surprised reaction of the millions of viewers that tuned into GTS around the world kept me alive.
So you agree that this is just a parody, that you're not trying to rip off this character of Kane. This is just like a parody, just something you're doing for fun.
My own Kane variant.
That you are. Based on the name, I could presume that you are definitely a different variant itself. Okay, so
Dustin Rhodes, you have not said one word about Blue Kane. You have not said one word about Kane. You open your mouth and discriminated against the 8-ball machine. That's a big mistake.
So yeah, he discriminated. There are multiple peoples from what you call the Kaneiverse. I did some research. There's a LGBTQ Kane called Gain, the big rainbow machine. There's Blue Kane, who had to change his name to Blue Pain. and then there's you, Co-Kane, and I also noticed that there's a woman running around, Candy Cane. Like, how is it that everybody, you know, could just be in this one universe at the same time? Is it like Spider-Man or something? Like, explain this to me.
It's called the Kaneiverse.
Okay, got it. So, like, how did you ensure that? So, how did you ensure Co-Kane would be? Is Co-Kane more of a joke or is he serious? Like, what's the when people see Co-Kane, what should they expect from your version of Kane in the Kaneiverse or the Kaneiverse? What should they expect from you when they see you?
Kilos and kilos of cocaine-induced mass destruction.
Okay, okay. So like, do you have friends? Like, who else is with you out there? You know, like who else? Like are all? It seems like okay. Glenn Jacobs, the person that played Kane, has an issue with you, and how do the other Kanes feel about you?
I considered OG Kane a friend and inspiration. Words cannot describe how bad that I feel that he takes issues with me due to my recreational habits.
Okay, fair enough. So like, Kane is getting ready to go on a podcast. You know, and he said on numerous times before. You know, he's been asked about you. You know, how do you? What goes through your mind when you hear that Kane has negative things to say about your parody of his character that rightfully he's made millions of dollars on? What do you say about that?
One can only hope that there is no personal negativity towards me. One can only hope that if he hates me, he hates us all.
Maybe you're like the cousin he didn't know that he had. I think
Correct.
I think Thanksgiving will be very awkward this year. So like, you're popular. I have friends that I'm in a group chat with and they don't watch pro wrestling. Maybe they look into it, but they don't watch it as much as I have. Why do you think you appeal so much to people that are not pro wrestling fans, to the mainstream of America, to the world?
Because I go everywhere, anywhere, where the powder is pure.
Okay, where the powder's pure. Looks like we have a question or a comment. Let's get that comment real quick. It's from Think Nasty. What's going on? He says, does Co-Kane have a long-lost brother that left him for dead? Really good question. Thank you very much. Co-Kane, you want to answer that?
My long-lost relatives was Pablo Escobar, the famous drug lord in Colombia. I emerged when George Young and Tony Montoya smuggled 20 kilos from his empire.
Okay. Well, We're going to definitely look into more into your history and talk about more of the controversy that you've created in the world, not even just pro wrestling. So you say your character has drawn criticism, most notably from Dustin Rhodes, who played Goldust in the WWE, who said that, let me just read the quote, that you should be ashamed of yourself. What are your response to his comments?
Whether or not you discriminated against the other Co-Kane or the original, which is me, you, Dustin Rhodes, don't even know me. And I, the 8-ball machine, live rent-free in your head. You want to do something about it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he does want to do something. I don't know. Like, maybe you want to see him in the ring or something?
Challenge accepted.
Well, you can't really accept the challenge because, I'm not Dustin. I'm just saying maybe he wants to wrestle you. So, he would have to issue the challenge, and then maybe you say you want to accept it. Look, maybe it's the powder. I don't know.
Goldust versus Co-Kane is a money maker.
I agree. I definitely think that people will watch that 100%. Like someplace like GTS, maybe Netflix. After Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they're definitely looking for more content. But Kane, the legend who inspired your parody, he criticized you, and we talked about that. Do you see this as a misunderstanding of your intent?
It is an obvious misunderstanding.
So if you could talk to Kane right now, maybe he's listening. You never know. Explain yourself to him.
I mean no harm. I looked up to you as a young boy. I loved seeing you in the ring. My love for you did not die. Why do you hate me?
I think maybe a little bit of therapy would definitely work good for you. Maybe lay off the powder a little bit more towards therapy. What do you think?
No such thing.
Okay. Well, normally for me, I don't, and I know my mother's watching, so I got to watch my language, but maybe she's not watching this part. This is the kind of shit that I'm not.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, hey, he said hi to your mom. This is normally the kind of shit that I'm not into. I'm not really into like the parody wrestlers and stuff like that. But from being a semi-retired pro wrestler in the ring, I'm sure I've probably met you somewhere in the wrestling world before. I don't know who you are underneath the mask. I just sent a message and they said, "Yep, Co-Kane will be here." But like, I see this almost like Saturday Night Live. Like you're not trying to be rude. I don't see you being disrespectful. I don't see you trying to take the WWE's gimmick and like make millions of dollars with it. You're just having a good time entertaining somebody or entertaining people. And I'm sure you're just entertaining yourself, like how is it that you feel when people say that you're ripping off Kane?
I find it laughable.
Yet but nobody here is laughing. I think that you're very serious, and I don't do drugs or play with the drugs. So if I saw you, I'd probably just keep going the other way.
Then keep walking.
I just might.
Tristan.
I just might do that. So, like, how do you balance staying true to your true vision of Co-Kane while handling criticism from decorated veterans inside of our industry?
I avoid the negativity of those who don't even know me.
So if you wanted them to know one thing about cocaine, what would you want them to know?
That I mean no harm.
Okay. So one that's listening to this or watching this podcast live right now, feel free to leave a message in the chat for cocaine, and we can roll it up to him. But somebody that's watching this, they would feel like you're alone. And the question that I have for you is: have you found allies in the wrestling world who support and understand your vision of cocaine?
Yes, sir. Grim is my ally, and so is Jimmy Controversy.
I mean, that works. I got two good friends, like really good friends in a chat on my phone, so I understand that. You don't need a whole army of friends. How has their support impacted your journey?
They kept me alive. They got me on Vice.
So
they made me challenge the Co-Kane from JCW.
Okay, so do you think that those people that are around you, do you think that maybe they're like enablers, because nobody really hangs with anybody that's like, no, they didn't really name you cocaine because they're running out of names. And, I see the powder in the ring, Lord could only imagine what that is. Do you feel like maybe they're enablers into your bad habits?
Enabling fuels the devil's favorite drug.
Got it. Okay, so what's been your most memorable match or rivalry with cocaine? If you haven't had one yet, because your character is still pretty much new, what is a rivalry that you're looking forward to as the cocaine character?
When I beat LJLash for the US title.
Well, if you like what I'm doing right now, feel free to hit the subscribe. This is we're here with Co-Kane, the controversial and I guess outrageous parody wrestler of Kane. We're sitting here with him here today, and we're getting to learn a little bit about him. He's been burning up the internet, and we're just trying to find out what's happening. Maybe find out a little bit more behind the character and find out some depth. So, if you can face off against any other wrestler, Co-Kane, past or present, in your ultimate dream match, why is it Kane? And why is it Kane?
The OG Kane should pass the torch to the variant that is the most out there.
So my issue is that I think that you're kind of going out of gimmick there, because when you put flame next to the white powder, it turns into crack with a little bit of baking soda, I guess. I don't know how this works. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. So maybe you don't want him to pass the flame. Maybe that's a whole different thing. Maybe that's for somebody, maybe a wrestler called Grim Reefer. Okay, he agrees. All right. So looking back, what if you could look in the future now, what do you see your contribution to the pro wrestling industry as, Co-Kane?
I will continue to go down my own path.
As I think you should. So, how can we differentiate the real Kanes versus the fake Kanes? Not Kanes, Co-Kanes. How do we know that, you know, you're you, and that they and to differentiate you from the other ones. Because I did the research. I understood that Grimm's Toy Show, GTS, created the Kane character, and everybody else has followed suit. You know, right now there's like 100 of you guys running around. It's going to be like a whole, you know, cocaine party. So, like, you know, how do we differentiate? Like, who are you?
See Co-Kane versus Co-Kane real soon.
Okay, looking forward to that. So, what's next for Co-Kane? Where can we find Co-Kane?
You can find me at GTS Stilly Super Pop and on Vice TV.
I know it's the second time you mentioned that, and I saw it a little bit online. Tell me about what's happening with Vice TV. I love to watch Vice on YouTube. What's happening specifically with Co-Kane and Vice? Because they do a lot of episodes about Co-Kane, but they're doing an episode about you, Co-Kane. So what's different about this one?
I have made the challenge on Vice to the other Co-Kane.
So are you and Co-Kane going to wrestle on Vice television?
That is a possibility.
Well, I think if you guys do happen to have your fight on Vice television, I would definitely watch that. I think you might draw more people than Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
That is correct.
Yeah, I'm correct. Well, every hero has advice for the next generation. Co-Kane, what words of wisdom would you have for other future wrestlers or current wrestlers looking to create bold and original characters like Co-Kane?
Work hard, play hard, party hard.
Okay, yeah, party hard, party hard. Well, where can we find you next? You got any shows coming up? Any way that we can find you on social media? I couldn't find any social media on you.
I will see you all at Solid Steel Series GTS. Follow me on Twitter at The Real Co-Kane.
Real cocaine. Okay. So I got one message in the chat. Let me just see what they say there. They want to know, is the main event between you and fake Co-Kane going to be in Colombia? That's a real good question. Thank you, Think Nasty.
Never say never.
Well, everyone, that was Co-Kane. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Tristan Law Show with Co-Kane, the controversial and outrageous parody wrestler of WWE Wrestle Kane. If you like what I did today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Tristan Law. Don't forget to come back Friday at noon for Why Netflix Needs WWE to dominate live sports. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're still here, go ahead and watch another video. I'm Tristan Law. I'll see you Friday. Thank you so much, Co-Kane, and we'll see you next time.